Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Rambling Yvonne, and here is another ramble. I do have some fun notes so that I can try to stay on topic. Okay. This ramble is going to be about the power of your mind. This ramble is going to be about how we are programmable, moldable, brainwashable teachable creatures. And we are being and have been, or at least the majority of people that I know and observe, and of course myself. I could even just base this video on I statements, for I have been programmed to be harsh on myself. But I am gonna generalize this. I believe a lot of us have been programmed to be harsh on ourselves. We have been bred in self-hatred and judgment. Negative, critical judgment of self. Negative hatred of self. And if you are trapped in your programming, it is bound that you're projecting this onto other people. You're putting the hate onto other people because we are humans and we are perfectly imperfect. I believe we are programmed, easily taught, molded, programmed, brainwashed to be hateful and critical to self. We are here to be molded from the time you were born to now. This brings me back to the statement, we are not born with self-love. It is something we must teach ourselves. Let's see, okay. In this matrix, in this society, we are bred to hate ourselves. We are bred to be extremely critical of ourselves. We are bred to think negative of ourselves. We are programmed, brainwashed, molded to not be kind to ourselves. Whether it was our trauma, whether it was our culture, our family, our allegiances, our creed, whatever has brainwashed us to have self-hatred, we must reprogram. We must reteach. We must remold and rebrainwash ourselves to be more kind to ourselves, to be more loving towards ourselves, to be more compassionate, understanding, and overall, this is how we heal ourselves, and we heal ourselves with our mind and through our actions. No. It says, know how far you have come. But before it says that, it says, I don't know how you have been brainwashed, but go within and see yourself truly. And this is something that I've had to do on my self-discovery journey, on my self-healing journey. I've really had to go within and realize that I'm not what I have been taught to believe about myself. And still on the daily, I struggle to be like, when I'm in the thick of it, I struggle to know, like, I am not what I was taught to be as a child. I'm not a bad kid or a bad person. I'm not, the scapegoat to all my family's problems. That's it. I beg of you, and I beg of myself, to reprogram, reteach, remold, yourself daily. Rewash yourself. Reprogram yourself. See yourself clearly, not for what you have been told about yourself, not for what, like I said, your allegiances, your family, your culture, your creed, not for what your family has said about you, made you believe, not for what your teachers, your bosses have said about you, made you believe, but what you truly know about yourself. And in me begging us all to see ourselves clearly, you must see you are enough. You are lovable. My compassion statement: you are doing the best you can with what you've got, meaning what you have been taught. You are doing the best you can with what you've got, meaning what you have in your disposal, in your resources, in your allegiances, creed, family, culture. You are only able to do with what you have been taught. And that is why we need to teach ourselves, reteach ourselves, reprogram ourselves, remold ourselves, re-brainwash ourselves. If you're feeling down on yourself and you feel like, perhaps you regret everything, perhaps that is something you were taught. You not only saw it in your allegiances, in your family, in your culture, in, your upbringing or your experiences leading you to who you are today. You also were subconsciously, you subconsciously took these things in and believed them about yourself, or at least I know I did. I'm not going to get to the thick of my brainwashing or my teaching in this video. This one's really important because it's something I learned literally just within the last 5 months. Know how awesome you are. Do you know how awesome you are? I know, I finally know how awesome I am, but when I'm in the thick of it, I do forget, and that's why we must reprogram, reteach, remold, rebrainwash ourselves daily. Know how strong you are. Know how powerful you are. Know how amazing you are. In that statement, it triggers, know how far you have come. You may still be struggling with negative coping mechanisms and negative habits and patterns, but you're further than you were, let's say, 2 months ago, 5 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Just know how far you've come. Know that another thing, which isn't actually on here, but it kind of is, you don't change yourself, you learn who you really are. Your mind is your power, especially about what you think, especially about yourself. This is why we brainwash, reprogram ourselves. We must know we are enough. We must know we are lovable. We must know how awesome we are. We must know how strong we are. We must know how far we have come. We must know how we can change ourselves. And we can change what we have been taught if we change what we're thinking about ourselves. The power is in the mind. All of it. And I'm slowly but surely working out the kinks of creating my own reality, henceforth knowing the power of my mind. Stop fearing your power, your love, your light, your magic, your strength, your awesomeness. For when you were taught, brainwashed, molded by your creed, allegiances, family, culture, they feared your strength. They feared your light. They feared your power. They feared your awesomeness. They feared your uniqueness. And it is most likely, once again, we bring it back to projection. They feared their own awesomeness. They feared their own light, or somebody before them, feared their light and feared their awesomeness. It's a generational curse. It's an overall curse, generational, to hate yourself, to feel critical about yourself, to not see your strengths, your good points, and to only focus on the negative, Self-love is accepting the good and the bad. To have self-love, you must have self-awareness. Within self-awareness comes self-acceptance. It says here pretty big, learn who the fuck you really are. You are not what you've been taught to believe you are. You are magic. You are duality. You are strength. You are divinity. You are, the God is within, God's head is within man, right? Okay, that's all that's on this page. Just a ramble about, reprogramming yourself, throwing away the programming of your allegiances, of your culture, of your family, and finding your own programming that is more aligned with who you truly are, your awesomeness, your light, your good, your bad. Okay, now these are some quotes on basically what I'm trying to explain as your power is in your mind. What you think of yourself, how you see yourself, and we must throw away what is no longer serving us, what we were taught to think and see, and how we were taught to see ourselves, and see ourselves clearly. Unlearning is more difficult than learning. English proverb. So I always like to say, depending on what age you're starting on the healing journey, the self-discovery journey, the healing journey, where you throw, status quo and what you've been programmed away, and you find your own status quo and your own programming. You throw tradition away and you find your own tradition. Depending on your age, it will be harder, but it is still possible. You must unlearn what you have learned, and this is Yoda. Learn who you are. Unlearn who they told you to be. This is S. McNutt. The spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and accepting of love. Marana Williamson. Healing is the art of unlearning. Awoken shit. But that is the bed. We have been, I'll say it simply again, we have been bred to be harsh on ourselves, hateful on ourselves, and critical of ourselves. We must rebreed ourselves to be loving towards ourselves, to be understanding of ourselves, and to be gentle of ourselves. Humans are perfectly imperfect, and we are all just so special, unique, and we deserve to be able to see that special and uniqueness. And I've learned that once you can see how special, unique, awesome you are, you can see it in everybody else. Once you can see the beauty and the light in yourself, you can see the beauty and the light in everyone else and in the world. And it's hard because not only are we being bred to hate ourselves, we are being bred to hate in general. I will read the last one, or the one that really, the spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and the accepting of love. Let go of the fear of seeing your awesomeness and start to love your awesomeness. Peace out.